Diamondvale, Shattered Memories. By Eric Hua. Chapter 21. Friends and Foes. Some of the memories had returned to Devon and Jacob about their past life in Zenith. They were so excited to see each other that they began acting very immaturely. They were performing secret high fives and making random war cries that no one else could understand. Kira was speechless and Leo shrugged his shoulders. Sahil pretended that he had no idea who the two were. The two continued their comical act until a haunting wail echoed through the wilds. It was the towering Geode-Mutant beast, and along with a mass of lesser minions. Sahil, Jacob and Devon were thinking they could take the beast if they all attacked together. Off to the side, Kira commanded Leo to leave with her, and they fled the area, leaving the three men to battle against the beast and the army of mindless Geode-Mutants. The large group that left Zenith was now in Nadir. They made their way swiftly through the area, hoping to reach the polluted wild. Barman was leading the way, but they all halted their advance when they felt a strong gust of wind blow by them. There was a burr circling them. Myla immediately recognized the Geode-Mutant beast from their encounter at the Amazon borderlands. Ajay and Civic volunteered to help Myla battle the creature, while everyone else continued on their way. Ajay went first, swinging his hatchets at his target, but he was too slow. Civic fired an electric pulse to follow up, but the enemy jumped over his attempt. Little did the beast know, this was the opportunity they were looking for. Myla charged in with her opponent in midair. She did a cartwheel before throwing a kick with her dominant leg. She thought she had a clear strike, but when she got closer, the glare that was on the visor of the beast disappeared. Myla could see the face of the humanoid. It was Amrita. As Myla was lost in thought, her enemy was about to land a counterpunch. Ajay jumped in to grab Myla, saving her from a painful hit, but their enemy reoriented the attack and delivered two quick jabs to both of them. Civic saw both his allies down, so he jumped in against the speedster to stall for time. Ajay was worried as to why Myla suddenly lost her will to fight. She explained that the enemy they were fighting was Amrita, their former classmate. When Ajay heard the name, his thoughts went back to the photo he saw in the book. Small memories of their time as classmates were returning to his mind. Ajay turned to Myla, hoping she had a plan to save Amrita, but she had no idea. The large group continued to follow Barman further into the polluted wilds, and they could hear the wail from afar. Most of them were able to ignore the sound, but Saman could not. He felt something pulling him toward the wailing sound, so he ran off. Ashima yelled for the monkey to return, but Max told everyone to go on ahead as he would follow the monkey to make sure no harm would befall him. As Willingham was trying to refocus everyone, a barrage of shards was headed in his direction. Luckily, Harshitha sensed the attack in time and froze the attack with an ice wall spell. The beast that launched the attack revealed itself as the humanoid with long crystallized hair. Harshitha told Netanya and Ashima to fight alongside her and allow the rest to continue. Arya pressed on ahead with Willingham, Arnov, Dante and Barman. The humanoid enemy raised its hair in anticipation for the battle against the three heroines from Zenith. Seeing none of them making the first move, the beast rapidly fired shards from its hair. Netanya cast a bubble shield over them and negated the attack. When the barrage was over, Harshitha cast an ice wave for Ashima to hop on. She guides the wave right at the beast, allowing Ashima to swing her hammer at melee range. Their first attempt caught the enemy off guard as the beast sustained damage to the abdomen area. However, the humanoid shook off the hit and shot out its shards in retaliation. Again, Netanya shielded them and Ashima went for another swing with her geode-stone maul. The hammer made contact with their foe, but this time, she used her hardened geode-stone hair to create a cocoon for herself. It was tough enough to stop the maul's attack without gaining a scratch. Ashima couldn't believe how tough the hair was, so she repeatedly struck the cocoon in hopes of breaking through. The more she attacked, the more it changed color. Ashima wasn't paying attention, but Harshitha and Netanya both realized something was wrong. When they saw the crystal cocoon turn full red, they warned Ashima to get out. Unfortunately, Ashima was in mid-swing, and when she struck the cocoon, it erupted with an explosion of energy. Ashima was caught in the blast, but Harshitha and Netanya both cast their wind magic to soften Ashima's impact against the ground. They turned to face their opponent, but the enemy looked slightly different as it emerged out of the cocoon. In particular, they could see the face of the opponent they were battling. Harshitha and Netanya both recognized that it was Sisi who stood before them. Harshitha asked if Netanya was ready, but suddenly her ally dropped to the ground gasping for air. Harshitha wasn't sure what was happening until she looked around where they were standing. The cocoon explosion scattered debris from the forest, including tree nuts, one of Netanya's deadly allergies. At the other battle, Sahil, Jacob, and Devon were all lying on their stomachs struggling to get up. The giant geode-stone beast was far stronger than they had anticipated. Jacob and Sahil were still tired from their earlier battle, leaving Devon the first to get up. He was left alone to face the giant beast along with all the other Geode-Mutants slowly creeping their way towards him. He thought it was over until an arrow flew in and hit one of the mindless mutants. Then a few more arrows struck and their attention was diverted to Max, who attacked them. Slowly, they moved towards the archer, but Saman came slamming into the fray in his gorilla form. He picked up one of the mutants and swung it at the other, knocking multiple enemies out at once. After clearing a path, Saman made his way to Devon and handed him a geode stone. When Devon received the gift, he had a rush of memories return. It was a time in Zenith when he, Jacob, and Saman, in human form, caused mischief among the public streets. The swarm of mutants continued their march. Max couldn't fire his arrows quick enough, and even Saman was becoming overwhelmed by their sheer numbers. It seemed their rescue efforts were in vain until Devon jumped in front of them. Something about him was different from before. With some of his memories returning, he shouted, "Team Absolute Nonsense!" Upon his announcement, Jacob and Saman had a resurgence of energy. The trio of Jacob, Devon, and Saman all did some strange dance moves before striking their unique hero pose. The lesser mutants were creating a wall to protect their leader. Saman was up first, and the geode stone on his body began to glow, granting him extra power. The gorilla pounded the ground with both his fist, and a rock wave appeared and wiped out almost a third of the mutant wall. With a much weaker defense to break through, Devon put the geode stone he was given into the chest component of his suit. He felt a surge of power, and he blitzed through the wall of geode mutants. He stopped right in front of the giant beast and provoked the beast to use his loud wail again. It was about to open its mouth, but a bolt of lightning struck it on the shoulder. The plan was for Jacob to strike the beast in the mouth, but he had missed the intended target. That was their chance to end the battle, but now the other minions were reforming the wall and Devon was about to get pummeled by the beast. However, a rock hit the giant creature on the side of its forehead. Sahil managed to muster up his last ounce of strength to slapshot some rocks to distract their foe. Max was running towards Jacob as he had an idea, but there were many mutants blocking the way. Seeing Max's predicament, Saman crashed in to create a clear path. The former enforcer ran through the opening that Saman temporarily created for him. After Max made it through, Saman was swarmed and dogpiled by the army of mutants. Thanks to Saman's efforts, Max made it to Jacob and he asked him for his spear. Jacob was reluctant to give it, but then he saw Devon barely surviving against the beast. Sahil could no longer help Devon as he too was overpowered by the enemy forces. Seeing the dire situation they were in, Jacob handed his weapon over, putting all his faith in Max's plan. With the swarm of enemies approaching the remaining two fighters, Max took the spear and loaded it on his bow. The beast had Devon trapped and he was about to unleash his deadly wail. As it was about to open its mouth, he noticed Jacob's spear headed its way, so it moved its head over and the spear missed. Their gamble had failed, and now the beast was about to direct its wail against them. When its mouth opened, the spear was driven onto its tongue. Devon had caught the spear in midair after the miss without the beast noticing. The creature attempted to shake the spear out, but a surge of electricity flowed from the weapon and into the tongue of the monster. The shock was dispersed through its entire body, causing a massive explosion which took out all the other geode mutants. Jacob, Sahil, Saman, Max, and Devon had survived. They were hoping that the battle was finally over, but with the area still filled with smoke, they saw a shadow emerge. Everyone was worn out, but they braced themselves to fight again. However, Max called out and he slowly approached the silhouette. Everyone thought he was crazy, but when Max got close, it suddenly fell through the smoke. The Geode-Mutant beast was no more, and instead, it was a small human man. Max caught him, and when he saw the face, he instantly recognized him. It was one of their classmates from their time in Zenith, and a good friend of Max, Dylan.